Hey everyone, this is Grant and welcome to another episode of Raising Amazing Families. In this episode, I want to talk about the notion of entitlement and the current generation being raised with a sense of entitlement. And it's, I guess, a reference to a video I just posted on my private Facebook group last week, a video by Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V as he's known. And he talks about the dangers of raising our kids with a sense of entitlement. And I guess he covers off on 2 points. One is entitlement, or a sense of entitlement. And the other piece he talks about is participation. So children being rewarded for just simply participating. And the point that Gary V makes is that both aspects are extremely dangerous for this current generation in terms of how they're being parented and how they're being taught. So it's not just parents, it's teachers as well. So in terms of entitlement, the issue that Gary raises and the point that he makes is we're basically educating our kids, teaching our kids that they are entitled to essentially whatever it is they want in life. And we're not teaching them tough lessons. And, you would have heard the concept of tough love many years ago. And in the wrong context, tough love can be quite damaging. But in the right context, tough love can be a very effective way of parenting or teaching children to ensure that they understand what the tough lessons in life can be and how to get through those tough lessons and how to learn from them. And I guess it's premised off the fact that the greatest lessons in life are from failures and not from successes. You tend to learn more from your failures through a need and a desire to succeed and to improve than what you do from actually winning. And so tough love in its own right can be a very effective way of parenting and teaching, but as I said, in the wrong context can be quite damaging, sometimes even soul destroying. But the flip side of that is entitlement. It's where we teach our kids around, or teach our kids about the fact that they are entitled to anything in life, that they can do whatever they want to do in life, and that's just a fallacy. It's not true. And this is the point that Gary V makes: is we're raising our kids to think that anything in life is possible, when in actual fact you have to work your backside off to make something possible. And even then, there's no guarantees. The point that he makes is you can only control what you contribute, and that sometimes external factors can knock you down and you don't get what it is you're after, what you're chasing, what your goals are. And so teaching our children, today's generation, to have a sense of entitlement can leave them absolutely well short of their goals and what they're trying to succeed, and create some pretty serious side effects in the way of mental health issues and depression and even worse. So he really makes a strong point around the fact that as parents, we need to make sure that we're not raising our kids to have a sense of entitlement, and certainly through the education system that we're not teaching our kids that they're entitled to whatever it is they want. The second point that Gary makes is, as I said, is this point of participation. And I cannot think of where that came up or how it was created in the education system in Australia when we were in Australia with our kids, putting them through school. But it just started happening. With our three kids, they would go in cross country, they'd go in athletics, swimming, carnivals, etc. And for whatever reason, they'd be given a ribbon for participating. And again, the point that Gary V makes is it does nothing for the child's psychology, for their mental toughness and learning that, life is not about just participating, that you actually have to compete. And there are going to be times when you lose. And sometimes those lessons, those tough lessons of losing, are the greatest lessons that a person can have. But if they're taught to think that life is about participation, then how are they going to go when it comes to trying to get a job in the real world, or trying to buy a house when there's 10 other couples or people in competition for that house? You don't get it because you participated. You get it because you won. You had the highest bid. You don't get the job you want because you participated in your interview. You got it because you were the best candidate for the job. But we're teaching our kids the art of participation, and it's dangerous. And that's the point that Gary V makes, is that we're setting our kids up for failure by thinking that life is all about participation and not about the fact that sometimes you actually need to compete for things. I know that there's a line you can cross with going too far. We're teaching kids about being competitive and competition. And there is a downside to that, but at the same time, you can't go too far the other way and teach them that participation is what life is all about, when in actual fact, sometimes they need to compete. They need to be able to stand on their own 2 feet. And so, he talks about the 8th place participation and just how dangerous that is. So what are your examples? Whereabouts have you had these examples in life in terms of, raising your kids to have whatever it is they want in life, being entitled to whatever it is they want in life, and they can do anything without any effort and energy? Or where is it that they have participated and got a medal and a ribbon and think that everything's fine and dandy because they participated and got their ribbon, got their 8th place ribbon? And reality is 8th place doesn't count in too many things in real life. If you think about it, you go to the Olympics, only goes to bronze, to 3rd place. There's a lot of competitions where, it's down to the final 2. And so something like 8th place doesn't figure too often in life. And so why give a child an 8th place ribbon when life is not about 8th place? It's typically about 1, 2 or 3 at the most. What are your where have you experienced this with your kids? Have they had the same issues and challenges at school or in their sporting teams where they're taught that they can absolutely do anything in terms of sense of entitlement, or they're given an 8th place ribbon when it comes to participation? And in reality, the kids don't learn what life is going to be like later on. So leave a message or a comment as usual, either in Facebook or Instagram or on this podcast. Thanks very much and take care.